Hello, welcome back to another episode of Prehistoric Speculation, where we have just had some huge new data dumps from a German article about Jurassic World Evolution 2. This could be another 5-minute recap, so there's a lot to cover, so without further ado, let's get into it. So, the first image here shows us... the new building variation system, where we see the colour wheel for the first time. This will allow us to change the different aspects of the building, such as the main colour, the secondary colour, and it's nice to see that we'll have as much control as an actual colour wheel. I don't think we'll be getting this with the dinosaurs, but it's incredibly cool to see with the buildings. This snapshot itself is just makes me incredibly optimistic for the game in the future, and this is one of the reasons why. We can see you can save some of the colours. Hopefully it's just as intricate on console as well. Hopefully this isn't a PC exclusive thing. I'd imagine not, but hopefully not. Hopefully it's on thing as well. We can also see some decorations in front of the building, such as the Spinosaurus skull. Also very nice to see. We don't know if that's part of the actual building variation or whether that is placeable, but either way it looks quite cool. Moving on from that, we have two new images of the Amargasaurus, or one new image with two Amargasaurus, where while the Amargasaurus do look very cool with a very vibrant skin on the left and very cool tipped spines, the main thing to focus on is the first look of the UI in the top left. The UI in this shows us the comfort, health, stamina, and like water and food requirements of these creatures. We can also see though, at the bottom it shows the security rating. The security rating shows to me that a fence will also have a security rating, and it's likely that anything that has a lower security rating than the rating of the fence will not be able to break that fence, so we will no longer have Gallimimuses being able to break down giant concrete fences. I don't imagine we'd not have Amargasauruses be able to break down those 10 security rating concrete fences either. We see this again with the another image later on. So yeah, moving on. Next we have an image of a Triceratops and a Brachiosaurus. Again with the UI in the top left looking very cool. The fact that we are zoomed in on the Brachiosaurus while also being so far away shows that I think there's probably some new cinematic thing. We can also see in the bottom right a ranger outpost. The ranger outpost we've had the use of that described to us as being, in the first game you could see the social requirements and all of that of the creature at all times automatically updated to show the new feeling of the dinosaur. In this, the readings will be less and less accurate the more infrequent the checks the ranger outpost is. The ranger outpost is actually what updates the status of the dinosaur, really. So anything within that range will have a status update and will have new data for its forestry and social requirements and all that stuff. So yeah, we also see stamina as well, showing that dinosaurs will need to sleep eventually, and like if they're in a panicky environment, if they run too much, they'll use up their stamina and have to sleep a lot more. We also see the Brachiosaurus' security rating is higher, so it will be able to escape from higher security fences. Moving on from that, we have our first image of the hatchery system. Looks very similar to the first game with a cleaner UI. We see that there is now a time bar in the top left. Next to the white bar is an actual time, so we see how long it's going to take for that to come out. We also see the number of dinosaurs that are being hatched in the slot, implying that we can hatch a clutch of eggs in one hatchery slot. We only have 5 hatchery slots as we did in the first game. And yeah, it looks very cool. We also see at the bottom for the option for release via airlift or release via, or just release dinosaur in general. That's the system we saw where you can move dinosaurs across the park and that sort of thing without having to release them from the actual enclosure. After that we have a picture of the staff building. The staff building, the fact that we see a staff building shows us that we're going to have a much more in-depth staff system, much more like what we see in Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster and that sort of thing that we saw in the first game where there was no staff system. That was something I wanted to see in the game, and it was one of the things I said in my first videos, so I'm really glad we've seen this now, and that it will be coming eventually, and it will be coming on the game's launch. The next thing we see is our first image of a new dinosaur since the game's announcement. This is the Gallimimus, which was sort of expected to be in the game, but it's nice to finally see it. We see a another page for the UI of the dinosaur, which is very cool to see. We can see its forest requirements, its ground leaf requirements, its water requirements, that's all of its environmental needs. We then also see its comfort, which is quite cool. We also see that there is a special bar, so if it's incredibly comfortable, then it will be especially happy, probably having a higher rating, something along those lines. We also then see its social population, the area of its territory, and the overlap of its territory with other territories. And I assume each of those, if it's in the red area, it will decrease its happiness. Moving on from that, we have the confirmation of the gyrosphere, while also seeing some new Stegosaurus images. Not much to say about that one, but that's sort of it. Moving on to the next one, we see the veterinary building. This is now confirmed as the veterinary building, which is very nice to see. The big area out back gives me hope that we'll be able to see the dinosaurs being treated by the staff in the back. That'd be really nice to see. Hopefully that is something we end up seeing. We also see a new vet vehicle in the front. That's not the regular Ranger vehicle, so that's nice to see. And yeah, that was everything that was released in the new article. That was a quick recap for you. I'm sure there are other videos going on in a bit more detail, but I just wanted to get this done quickly for you. And it's just a quick overview of everything we've seen. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, please subscribe. Very appreciated. Yeah, so thank you for watching. Bye.